Coming up in tonight's bulletin, Guadalcanal Province mark its 41st second appointed day today, with the provincial government announcing its plans to relocate its administrative headquarters to Mamara west of Honiara. Investigation is currently underway to address the disappearance of essential medical drugs at Kilufi Hospital. And Pacific trade ministers have expressed their support behind efforts to develop the Pacific Labour Mobility Principles at the recent Forum Trade Ministers meeting in Fiji. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Sharon Nanau. The Guadalcanal Provincial Government has announced plans to relocate its administrative headquarters to Mamara west of Honiara by 2027. Premier Honourable Willie Atu made the announcement today during celebrations marking the province's 41st second appointed day. In his official address, Premier Atu confirmed that preparatory work is already underway on the 20-hectare site earmarked for the new government centre. Premier Atu stated that initial work had begun on 10 hectares of the 20-hectare site, with an exploded ordnance UXO clearance currently underway.
I would like to bring your attention again to in my speech this morning, to the provincial headquarters and infrastructure investments. Following the relocation of our headquarters from Point Cruz to Rita 11 after the tension, we are moving ahead with the development of a new provincial headquarters at Mamara in the west side of Honiara. This site is strategically located near Honiara. Is already undergoing clearance. We have invested 1.3 million to cater for 10 hectares of unexploded ordnances, remnants of World War II. Though costly, this is an essential step. Guadalcanal Province has acquired 20 hectares, and so far we are starting to develop 10 hectares.
He further added that the construction of the new headquarters is being financed by the Guadalcanal Provincial Government through its local revenues and the Provincial Capacity Development Fund, supported by the Provincial Government Strengthening Program, PGSP.
Construction of the Assembly Chamber and Administration Building is underway and is expected to be completed by 2027. I proudly state that these efforts are being financed through local revenues and the Provincial Capacity Development Fund through the Provincial Government Strengthening Program, PGSP, under the Ministry of the Provincial Government and Institutional Strengthening.
Still on the Guadalcanal Province second appointed day celebrations, Northwest Guadalcanal constituency marked Guadalcanal Province 41st second appointed day today.
Government and Institutional Strengthening.
Still on the Guadalcanal Province second appointed day celebrations, Northwest Guadalcanal constituency marked Guadalcanal Province 41st second appointed day today, with a vibrant community celebration at Mamara, highlighting a renewed push for grassroots development under the theme Transform Potential into Ownership and Prosperity. Simon Tavake attended the celebrations and filed this story.
As Guadalcanal Province has decentralized its 41st second appointed day celebration for 2025 to individual constituencies and wards around the province, Northwest Guadalcanal also marked the day today following a week-long mini trade fair at Mamara. The event was hosted by the Member of Parliament for Northwest Guadalcanal constituency and Minister for the Ministry of Public Service, Honourable Francis Sade. It was attended by the Acting Prime Minister, Honourable Frederick Colongetto, donor partners, key stakeholders, chiefs and the people of Northwest Guadalcanal. With the theme Transform Potentials into Ownership and Prosperity, the event highlighted the need to identify and leverage existing opportunities within the constituency.
Transforming opportunity highlights the need to identify and leverage existing opportunities within a community or region. Opportunities come in various forms, such as natural resources, human capital, technological advancement, or market access. The goal is to recognize these opportunities and transform them into tangible benefits for the community. Ownership is about empowering people for take charge their own development. It means that individuals and communities are not just passive recipients of aid or development projects, but are active participants and leadership in the process.
Honorable Sade said the theme is more than a vision. It is a commitment to ensuring that developments are owned and driven by the people.
This whole theme is more than a vision, having commitment to action, and reflecting collective determination to ensure that benefits of development are not only accessible to people, but are owned by them, shaped by them, and sustained by them. Ladies and gentlemen, this means that development is no longer something we doing for people, but something that we doing with them and by them. It means that farmers are not just producers, but are partners in agribusiness.
Meanwhile, Acting Prime Minister Honorable Frederick Kolongeto, while emphasizing the theme, reminded the people of the constituency to take pride and ownership of their resources.
Lo team long infar here, long Northwest Guadalcanal, we talk about the important source. We like him telling people below me long West Guadalcanal, we got him fertile lands, we got him nice beaches, long Guadalcanal, we got him nice sites for tourism, we got him culture below me too. Why imi garem imi riches lohem. Also longo team longo constituency, longo Northwest, them talk about him ownership. Una onam all kita things here. You na onam. You mina onam. Mina onam. You may rana onam. You must think all same here. Or you may happy for that things here.
The official program concluded with a chupu presentation ceremony and the declaration and launching of 4 economic zones in Northwest Guadalcanal constituency. Simon Tawake, SIBC TV.
Now, the Minister of Health and Medical Services, Dr. Paul Bosowai, says an investigation is currently underway to address the disappearance of essential medical drugs at Kilifi Hospital. Recent media reports have stated that 5 cartons of Coartem and 1 carton of amoxicillin have gone missing from within the Kilifi Hospital Drugs Supply Department. Honorable Bosowai calls on communities to respect health facilities.
We already make directives for executive team and also National Medical Store Manager for go down to Kilifi and start him now investigation of this issue. It's a very concerning issue. As a Minister of Health, me increasing budget trying to recover the medicine shortage issue before me take him portfolio as the Minister of Health. Local incident also it's very saddening. Kilifi Project Hospital and one for a very important flagship project under my leadership, and learning that there is missing of drugs there, it is truly saddening.
Meanwhile, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Matthew Wale, has described the incident as gross negligence on the part of pharmacy officers and hospital staff. Honorable Wale stressed the importance of the investigation as it will hold those responsible to account. Meanwhile, Honorable Bosowai acknowledged Wale's call, stating that the ministry welcomes oversight and views the opposition's concerns as part of ensuring stronger health governance and transparency. The investigation remains ongoing, with the ministry expected to release further updates in the coming weeks.
Me also acknowledging statement law Honorable Matthew Wale, which is the opposition leader and also MP for Akilangalanga, to which Akilangalanga constituency, to which Kilufi hemi staff him. Me also ask him for help Ministry of Health and Medical Services for call for people law you meet law there for must respect him now what health facilities you meet and help him now what health workers for continue for look after Kilufi because because Kilufi Hospital and one for the main hospital where Ministry of Health and Medical Services, if Allah Barawa like for develop him so that he provide him a good, effective and sustainable medical services for people not only lo constituency, lo Auki and Langalanga, but also all province lo Malaita.
Now, Pacific trade ministers have endorsed efforts to establish regional labour mobility principles aiming to create a unified framework for managing and guiding future labour programs across the Pacific. Andrea Mahanua reports.
Pacific trade ministers have expressed their support behind efforts to develop the Pacific Labour Mobility Principles at the recent Forum Trade Ministers meeting in Fiji. Speaking to SIBC TV from Suva, Solomon Islands High Commissioner to Fiji, Joseph Ma'ahanwa says the principles would act as guidelines for shaping future labour mobility programs.
The principles would be like guides for helping me for looking now what could be standards you set them in terms of dealing with issues affecting over the people where participate in other schemes here. But bear in mind that the principles were developed, by no legally binding. But what you may try for doing is set them these ones as guidelines where you may have a respect him and possibly use him for guiding me story with them other partners on what now you may like any labour mobility schemes you may enter into should be like.
The Forum Trade Ministers have tasked a technical working group to finalise a draft set of Pacific labour mobility principles.
Work has been in progress on developing a set of principles. So ministers have directed the PIF Secretariat or work in the format of a technical working group or continue for finalizing one draft set of principles whereby have put them now for endorsement by leaders during the upcoming summit, the Honiara.
Andrea Mahanwa for SIBC TV.
The Central Bank of Solomon Islands, CBSI, has forecast the national economy to grow by an average of 2.5% through 2026, with inflation expected to ease despite ongoing risks from global market fluctuations. Andrea Mahanua reports.
The Central Bank of Solomon Islands, a CBSI, has projected the country's economy to grow an average of 2.5% by 2026. Governor Dr. Luke Forau revealed this while speaking before the Public Accounts Committee recently. Forau highlighted the present risks affecting economic growth.
So in the medium term, the economy is projected to grow at around 2.5%. There is a risk along with this outlook projection. On the downside, we see, and it's a well-known challenge for us, the persistent inefficiencies in the inter-island shipping. And we all know that most of the agricultural products are also produced in the province, like copra and cocoa. Transporting them over to the main market is quite challenging. On the upside, I think we've noticed, and we continue to notice the donor inflows that comes in terms of the infrastructure development, and that will continue for some time. And externally, with ongoing geopolitics and the trade tensions that is ongoing, those are risks that we must always watch out for. For Solomon Islands, I think with the trade imposition by the U.S., there's a 10% tariff on that, but we don't see any major impact on that one, as we only export about 3 commodities to the U.S.
He adds inflation is expected to decline to 2.2% by the end of 2025. However, this may be impacted by fluctuations in fuel and food import prices.
In terms of the inflation came down to 3.2% 3% in June from December last year. But this year, by the end of the year, we should be able to see inflation to go down further to 2.2%. And this is on the assumption that the potential or the fuel and food import prices will remain or even go further. But as we see, there is still risk in this one as the war in the Middle East is still ongoing and the geopolitical situations. And there could also be risk coming from the weather-related, this is a domestic shock that could also have an impact on the domestic inflation.
Andrea Mahanwa for SIBC TV.
And now the latest in sports with Martin Taromani.
Champions of Oceania, the Solomon Islands national women's football team, on Thursday were hosted to a reception by the United Kingdom High Commissioner to the country, His Excellency Paul Turner, at his official residence in Honiara. His Excellency Paul Turner applauded the national women's team for winning the 2025 OFC Women's Nations Cup title, saying it's great to see women's football taking off here in the Solomon Islands. In a way, it has also taken off in England and in the United Kingdom, following England women's national football team's victory over Spain in the UEFA women's competition. His Excellency Turner said Thursday's reception was double celebrations for the United Kingdom and Solomon Islands because of both teams' successful campaign at their respective competitions.
It's great to see women's football taking off here in Solomons in the way that it has also taken off in England and in the UK. So it's incredible really how it's taken off. My point of saying that is football in England, and I think in most of Europe, was a very male game. And what's great is that when you guys won, I happened to be in town that Sunday when you were coming back, and I saw all types of Solomon Islanders celebrating. And when the Lionesses, who you know won last weekend on penalties, which is a rare thing for us to win on penalties, there were a huge amount of people from all walks of life actually celebrating. So it's become mainstream, is my point. And we wanted to become even more mainstream here, and for that matter, in the UK. Not least the fact that certainly English women footballers are much better at winning on penalties than England male footballers. All I wanted to really say tonight is we felt, being the home of football, the UK, we had to have you here to celebrate a great victory. You beat Papua New Guinea, who I think may have been favourites, I'm not sure. Tell me if I'm wrong. Certainly Spain were favourites when we won. But what I do want to say is that it's wonderful timing that you won 2 weeks ago. Or is that right? Yes, 2 weeks ago. We won last weekend. So that made this reception even more necessary to have.
Minister for Youth, Women, Children and Family Affairs, Honorable Kati Nori, meanwhile said the national women's team victory is an inspiration to all females in the country.
This victory is for our girls, sisters, aunties, mothers, women and even boys and men of the Solomon Islands. The hard-fought memories will linger and continue to inspire Solomon Island girls to engage football and also other sports. Solomon Islands government will continue to maintain strong support for women's sport through increased funding and inclusive policies more on girls, because our female athletes have shown that they can compete and succeed in regional level, and looking forward for international arena. So to you, my Solomon Islands national women champion, I thank you very much for what you have shown to all of us to win that game.
The England Lioness women's football team meanwhile defeated Spain 3-1 in a penalty shootout, while Solomon Islands defeated defending champions Papua New Guinea 3-2 in extra time during their grand final matches. Martin Taromani, SIBC Sports.
And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.